Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Alckemy. We are going to be doing some beat making today, specifically some bounce-esque stuff. What's going on there? What happened to this? Is this frozen? Oh no, I think it's zoomed in. I'm not sure yet, but there might be a chance that... Oh, this is just not showing the whole picture. There might be a chance that I may use the Diggy tag today. I don't know, but probably not. We'll probably start off of it, and then maybe if I have time to do another beat, I'll do something else. But yeah, I kind of want to get some more ideas going and build and flex this muscle, this creative muscle a bit, because I haven't used it in a while. But yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well. We are going to be getting into some production and making some stuff. We only have one quick play spell, two quick play spells before, wait, 7:44 a.m. No, I played this yesterday, so just one. Sorry. And then we'll get into the beat making stuff. Sick. Yeah, that was awesome. Cool. If you want to submit an everyday quick play spell, it's a 15-second or less demo. You can join the Discord. which there will be a link in the description. And then at the beginning of the stream, I'll play your stuff out. We're going to begin with making some drums. And that's what I always do. And I'm going to start with the rim shot first. I'm just going to kind of go through the motions here. Sounds pretty good already. Do I have another free band? Yeah, I do. Let's see. Let's add some stereo on this. There we go. Okay. Let's compress it. I actually like how that sounds, so maybe I won't fuck with that. Let's clip it. Do just a little bit more transient. I'm surprised it's still holding together, to be honest. It's usually really hard to make rim shots loud and stay together like that. So, yay me. Let's open up this. Let's find a rim shot. It's not bad. Let me see if I can get a little bit more sauce out of it. Hey, what's up, Nate? How are you? I think that one's good. We'll take that one. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, maybe I should save this. Every once in a while, I'll save one of these drums. Rin, November 8th, 25. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, we'll do that. Let's go for a kick. I actually like that. That's maybe I won't fuck with that too much. Maybe I will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use Pro Q for this. Just a really nice subby kick. Yeah, dude, I really like that. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Let's get some convolution in here. Just gonna find anything that's short. Ready?
Cravings are the root of unhappiness.
Rumble under the floor.
What?
A rumble on the dance floor.
Oh my gosh.
Rumbling bass.
Sorry, I'm just looking for some texture on here.
Say what?
Say yeah.
Maybe something like that. I've heard them. Ooh. If we could just take the top end of that. See, like when I change it, it gives it that little like white noise sound. Yeah. That's really interesting. We're gonna use a ring mod on this. There we go. Let's use some glue. Fuse compressor. Have you seen the new Eventide modal reverb? It actually looks pretty innovative. I don't think so. I have to admit though, like it's been a really long time since I've been interested in a plugin. I might not even want the fuse compressor on this. I might just want to leave that knocking sound on there. Although I want this to bump a little bit harder, so I want to figure out a way that I can bring up the volume without losing the integrity of the waveform. So here's what you do is you duplicate this. You leave this one alone. Oops. You leave this one alone, and then you just push this up a little bit. Get you 50% off Native Instruments hardware. Wait, are you working with Native Instruments again? Most hit songs are clipped. No. Yeah. I'm when I say clipping this, I mean soft clipping it. So I'm pushing it to the 0 value without it actually going over the 0 decibel mark. But that's why I'm measuring this via LUFS. All right, I might go back and use a different kick, but this one could be okay for now. Oh, you just still have connections. Did I tell you that I went and played with the MPC Live 3? It was a terrible experience, by the way. Couldn't hear anything. It was cool that they had one, but like I couldn't really test anything. And they didn't have any plugins installed. Bring headphones? No. I'm not gonna do that. Fuck, I look like showing up to a Guitar Center with headphones. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm not really interested in doing that. Okay, so this is going to be the most important part of... The speakers work, but I mean, everything was just so loud around me. Really? I feel like I feel like the mic is actually good from what I've seen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I'm not gonna demo. You were like, go demo at Guitar Center. And I'm like, man, come on, no. Hello, what are you doing? What the fuck, bro? Jesus Christ, fucking dude. Okay, so we need to create a syncopation here. Let's try 90. Um. Oh, it was Tetro though. Like, saw Tetro in Boston. That's cool. Yeah, so this is what I'm working on right now, is just trying to get this right. Oh, well, that hits a little different because I feel like he's pretty knowledgeable in a lot of stuff. But I don't know. Wait, did we watch the same video? Because you see how this shit is glitching out? The capsule may have been damaged in shipping. Yeah, I mean, from what I've watched from other videos, it seemed like it was fine. Okay, that's the first thing that we need to get right here. So Hey, Jolly, what's up? I'm gonna mute the stream for like 2 seconds, guys. Give me 1 sec. I need to reference this track. It is. Here we go. Okay, now what if I move this over just a little bit early and try that and see how that fares. Ski mask spotted? Huh? 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 Oh, from Robu? Okay. So I'm going to try to give this or pitch this up. There we go. Cool. Sick. All right. Let's get a clap in here now. We're going to make a couple. There's some new people in here. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out the channel and seeing what I'm about. Nice beat, nerd. Mac, curious. Actually, I'm curious for all of you. I was watching a DJ Payne video today. What are your guys' opinions on selling beats? I'm very curious to know your thoughts on that. Where are we at in this economy for selling beats? Buy VSTs and gear, you should sell beats. Well, I'm just kind of curious about the whole. Get that bread, baby. Do what you gotta do. Fuck what anyone thinks. Um, Forgive me. It's more of like, is it worth it? Okay, we're gonna work with that. I know it seems quiet, but just trust me on this one. Trust me, I'm professional. Um, Probably still BeatStars. I also have a thing to track train. I trust you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. In Alchemy, we trust. Only for beat advice. I have a funny story on a buyer. No. I'm not gonna deal with clients. I don't think. I think I'm just gonna put it on a site and be like, it's this. Fucking here's the price. Buy it. If I were to do it. Okay. So do you see how there's this like crazy peak right here? I can actually fix this by using an envelope follower here, I think. And going bloop. But maybe adjusting where it peaks. That did not work. Okay, let's try this. It's a little bit better. Yeah. um, that's what you're doing from now on. Big always looks so sick. Some people hate it. Some people love it. Is this the problem here? I think it's this. Let's grab a transient shaper. It's not as loud as I want it to be, but it's workable. Okay. Now, I think that if we were to add just a little bit of reverb to this and make it, yeah, just something like that, I think will help quite a bit. Yeah. You're talking strictly selling to a vocalist? No, I'm talking about putting them up online that people can just like buy. or you can license them, or let's try that. I think it is primarily, yeah, but it doesn't mean that that's like you don't just put it on one platform. You put it on like every platform. Okay. So what I'm also going to do is just get a little piece of white noise. And we're going to take that and place that next to this somewhere. Come on. What the fuck? Hey, what's up, ISO? Here we go. And then I'm going to just join these together. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Well, maybe not, but I can just keep it there for now. Sorry. You ended up here by accident? How does that happen? What you really meant to say was you came in here, but you didn't want to admit that you were curious about coming in here. I'm making beats. Just... what is next? 808. Admit it. You're secretly a fan. Tell it to the judge. Pitch bend maybe? This one right here is still a little bit abrasive. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Let's get some glide on that. Oh, polyphony. Ooh, okay. All right. So the next thing that I want to try to find is some. I think I actually have some. I spent a day making some like percussive plonks, whatever you want to call it. I just don't. What was that, Wednesday? I think it was some of the first ones that I did here. Yeah. And do something like this. And then I want to try to get this right. I need to figure out what key that's in. That's in C. So if we just go up 2 semitones, and then let me see what. That might actually work. Okay, I don't know how I feel about the second one, but it's on the right track. Come in. I love you too. Have fun.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Can you shut the door for me on the way out? Yeah. Thanks.
I'm gonna be coming from north.
From the north, hey?
Yeah.
Hey?
Jet's Pizza, baby.
Jet's Pizza? This is so goofy. Okay, let's see what this sounds like when we got everything bouncing together in the pre-master. That's kind of what I'm trying to build, is like a really strong relationship between the elements. But it's still not dialed in, but like I said, I think I'm on the right track. Kick, snare, and then that should pretty much be in its own space. Okay, let's also grab a crash. Yeah, that'll work. That is rolling sampler. Basically, it's recording to my RAM, and anything that I want to pull out it's constantly listening. So anything that I want to pull out, I can just drag to the timeline. It's like retrospective audio recording. Okay, so we are going to do this now. Oh, oops. Not this. Let's go here. Let me see what this sounds like together with these. I don't need it to be perfect, but just a little bit of variety over them. Dude, please. God damn it. What the fuck, Bitwig?
Hey! 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 Hey, boy!
Oh my god.
Hey, come on.
Hey, DJ! Hey, DJ! Hey, girl.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny is I actually know someone that sounds like this.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Hmm. Sorry, just trying to get this rhythm right. Well, that was a happy accident. Well, that was easy. Uh, tells me that I've got too much sub. Just curious. That's kind of cool, actually. Dope. Thank you. Let's see if I can do like some more interesting stuff with this, because I know that it's a little bit repetitive, but I have to work on this off camera. I'm sorry. It's because I have a beta of this that I can't show to the public, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm working on just using like different things like delays and grains to create variations off of this. That's interesting. That's also interesting. Ooh, yeah. Let me try a neural processor on this and see. Yeah, that's sick. Hey, no, no, you don't chew on dad's things. You hear me? No. Hold on, let me go get her toy. No. Come here. Chew on this. Take it. Chew on this. No. You hear me? No. She's an angel. She is very, very good doggo. But she needs to know not to chew on dad's things. All right. I was doing something with faceplant. Oh, right. I was making a twisty shaker thing. Yeah, that. Sorry. And with this one, I think it would be cool if we did like a. Sweet, dude. We're off to a pretty strong start. No idea. This beta is okay. It's usable. Sometimes it does some weird shit though. Cool. Let's add some texture to this. And because I didn't do any real mid-side on this, I'm going to do it on, I'll probably do it on this chain as well. So, sugar, spice, and everything nice. Yeah, filter here. Don't ask. It'll make sense in a minute. Something like this. Ooh, man. Some good shit in that. Sick, dude. There was a lot of cool shit in that. I think from like this point on is when we got the good stuff. And so I didn't really use the frequency shifter much, but that's okay. You can just take some of this shit and toss it in here and pit it up against. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is definitely going to be cool for like the next section. But I'm going to wait and try to be more subtle at the very beginning. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Like, that's fucking sick. Wait, there's a little moment in there that I really liked. Like there. Yeah, like all these little fills and shit. And this kind of gives me a guide of where to put it, you know, because it's all resamples of the same timing, so. See if we can get some other texture in here. That's kind of cool. Maybe we can do like a like here maybe. Cool. So now we can build off of this one. And just take away a lot of stuff here, so. Do something different right there, because that doesn't really make sense in that moment. Yeah, I mean, for anything, it's really learning the vocabulary, right? Of the functionality of what does what. And then what I would do is, are you wanting to mix and master your own stuff, or are you wanting to mix and master other people's music? Because that's going to make a big suggestion on where my advice goes. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is you start with your main genre, right? And looking at let me think about this, okay? Because like I'm trying to put myself in someone's shoes that knows like nothing about mixing and mastering. So like if you're a producer, I can't go on without saying this, okay? So forgive me because I know that it's gonna like beat around the bush because I know that you specifically asked me about mixing. But in my opinion, I think that in a development stage of music production, making beats and making tracks rather, because maybe you're not doing beats, maybe you're doing singing or some other shit, but making tracks is the most important thing. And what's the most important thing about making tracks is understanding arrangement, song structure, and patterns, call and response, phrasing, right? Can you put it together a rhythm? Can you put together a rhyme? Can you put together a melody? Because once you have that, that stems into the beginning, middle, and end. And when you have a beginning, middle, and end, you have a track. And then when you have a more refined beginning, middle, and end, then you go into the arrangement piece, which diversifies, you know, how you go into different parts of your track. It doesn't, at this point, it shouldn't matter what your sounds are like. It's more of, can you put some shit together, right? When you cut up a collage of like a magazine, you're not going to like judge the picture and be like, oh, I accidentally cut too much off, whatever. Like you're going to slap the fucking thing on and put some glue on it and be like, I like this. Because you know what I mean? It relieves you of the expectation of sound quality. And if you recall back in the day when people were writing music, they didn't have instruments to audition and hit play over and over again. They were writing purely out of notation that was meant to represent data. And that's what the DAW is. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel. But you can always go back and replace the sounds. And maybe I'll do another follow-up, which I've already done this video, but I just put one out against somebody that was like, oh, this will make you 99% better than other people's beats and whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Because then if you can do that and you can build an imagination around how to put things together, then everything is replaceable, for one. And two, it really helps you get solid in just writing music. Because if that's what you're really trying to do, like no one's going to get, like if you can't write a good beat, your mix and master doesn't even fucking matter. So there's that piece. Let's say you're comfortable with putting beats together, all of that other stuff. My best recommendation is first and foremost is to listen, right? And what I would do is try to categorize or try to pick out little details of things that you notice about the tracks that you like, you know? Oh, how does it, and the vocabulary is going to be rough, but I'd still write it down so that at least you know what it is, you know? Like, wow, you know, this sounds so wide. It sounds so bouncy. It sounds so loud. It sounds so, you know, something, some kind of description. In today's day and age, especially with the loud category, right? Like getting your drums loud, getting your tracks loud is very easy to do these days because there's a lot of tutorials that like answer that specific issue. And for my immediate advice on where to look, you want to look into clipping and saturation. Clipping and saturation and clipping. We'll say that. Not so much compression. People are really big, or people were really big on compression back in the day, but like the way to get like insanely loud tracks is not through compression. It's through saturation and clipping. Like this shit is loud as fuck. Right? It's the sub that makes it really loud, but yeah. And if you clip in stages and you work in that sense, then there's that. And then you're like, okay, well, how do I make my mixes wide? You know, then you need to look at spatial effects. You need to look at, you know, how to reverb a drum mix, you know, how to reverb, you know, general reverb tips, I think would actually be pretty helpful. Then you can look at mid-side EQ, right? What is that? Okay, well, it's something that applies. Oh, well, what is the difference between mid and side? What is the difference between stereo and mono? You know what I mean? So there's like a learning path that gets you to ask more questions on that. And generally speaking, in a sense, especially if you're interested at all in making music like this, or you, let's just say you like my mixes, it's totally fine if you don't. Um, I don't really have much going on in my master. Like there's a limiter and a clipper, but it's not doing anything. In fact, they're just on, and it's the clip to zero that makes everything super loud. If I want a really clean mix, then I would maybe watch quite a few videos on EQing, which also honestly goes back into the arrangement part because it's the relationship of the sounds that you have. And that unfortunately is the one thing that can't really be taught. You just have to listen for contrast, and you have to listen, you have to develop the skill of listening. That's the best advice I can give on that. And that just takes time. But, um, looking at phase, so different stages of what can go into a generic mix. And then when it gets into your specific genre, like let's say you've got all that, that's when you need to reach out to somebody on SoundCloud or on YouTube or whatever and be like, what what are some considerations that goes into mixing a track like this? And that is the best jump off point to help you start to develop awareness of not what to do after the track is made, but what goes into the track in the first place. Does that make sense? So like everything that I have on here, there's one sound that I didn't make from scratch, which is the little pluck thing. I did that on Wednesday. But everything that you've seen me do here, with making stuff loud and trying to get, trying to maximize volume and what the fuck ever, has been very intentional in the sense of trying to make it loud, right? And trying to make it heavy, trying to make it wide. And so, um, but that's like over a decade of experience with that, you know? You can easily compare your mix with other songs. Kendrick Lamar released unmastered albums, so you can compare that with the mix as well. Yeah, I think that's also a good point. Actually, it would be 5 years ago. If you're comparing against people that are putting stuff out on, and this is actually the issue that I have with streaming platforms, like you need to compare mixes to people that have like a pre-master rather than a master. And the reason why is two things. One, whenever you release stuff and you put it on social platforms or streaming platforms, they have an equal loudness fairness thing that no matter what, it's going to never go above -7 LUFS. And so a lot of people will actually, upload their shit and try to mix to the streaming platform. But somebody like me doesn't do that. I like, if you go on my website and you listen to my shit, it's going to be louder than everybody else's. And part of the reason why is because I don't mix for that. It was actually something that I kind of realized whenever, I don't know if you know who Mefuse is, but he was like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to like, I'm going to make it appropriately loud for what I feel is right, you know? And I'm not necessarily trying to push decibels, but it's one of those things that you have to consider whenever you're doing these mixes because they're relevant, you know? Sonable has a plugin that shows the balance. I think that those are okay. Like those are okay for learning, but as a means of actually having control of what you want to do, it to me like it actually all stems back into the sound design for the most part. If you're making your own sounds. But that's just for my personal thing. Because if I can design my sounds knowing that, like, let's say I design my kick and it moves around the bass, to where they're not super competitive, I have a higher chance of it working, But I don't know, man. I feel like mixing and mastering and shit is just like, there's only so many things that go into it. You have dynamics, which is, loudness or quiet parts and loud parts of sounds and instruments and whatnot. You've got stereo. Uh, you have placement, which I think is important, contrast, and yo, thank you, Roy. I appreciate the membership. Soul Steel. Yeah. So it's like, what? You have dynamics, you have stereo, you have placement, I guess technically you have depth, like space, you know, like tails and all of that. But I mean, other than that, like that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to mixing. There is a lot to mixing, but as a means of like what problems you're trying to solve, they're very straightforward. I guess phase, if you wanted to consider, like phase could be a thing as well. Hello. Chasing for loudness is crazy these days. It just kills all the dynamics and stuff. At the same time, I don't want my music sound less loud than other people. Well, people think that you can't have a dynamic track and be loud at the same time, and that's just not true. I mean, like, I just started this track today, and I would say, like, yeah, the mix is rough, but how does it still have a means of dynamics in it? And that goes into space. If you're going to try to incorporate dynamics into things, you can have moments that are really loud and then have moments that are quiet. It's just you need to space it out, you know? Like with this track, there's a lot of negative space in this. There's a lot of silence. You know what I mean? Maybe. I mean, but, you know, have I been producing longer than you? Do I have more hours? Like, have you talked, like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, by the way, sorry. But like, have you talked to the people that I have about these things? And if you haven't, then that would be my suggestion. Forgive me for the unsolicited advice, but like, I've been really fortunate to talk to people that make the music that I fucking love. And that's the biggest difference between me and most others. I sought those people out and then was like, please teach me what you know. I will pay you whatever. I will take the dust out of my wallet and hand it to you. Just show me the way. And they did, and I'm super fortunate. And even still, like, I'm not as good as those guys, you know? But if you want shit loud, it's just like, it literally is clip it and limit. Oh, dog, I've got a decade of experience over you. Like, of course my shit's gonna sound better. But I have a decade of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not, yeah, it's not really a fair comparison. I don't really notice a quality degrade in streaming platforms. I get to listen to tracks before they're pushed out, and I can't notice a notable degrade. I'm not really sure what to say because it depends on who you're listening to, right? Because some people mix for the streaming platforms, some people don't. And if you listen to the people that don't, there is a significant difference. Like, there's a huge difference. Actually, let me see. Let me go here. SoundCloud. No, fuck you. Okay, so this is a really loud track. And I don't really know what's going to happen here because this is through SoundCloud, through YouTube. So we'll see. But, you know, see if you can notice a difference because I can. We're just going to listen to like the first, like right here, just this part. Okay, so there's that. This is the wave. Yeah. There's a lot more clarity. This is actually just as loud, ironically. But I don't know how, because that's kind of strange. Oh, maybe it's because it's going through OBS or something. I don't know. But yeah, generally speaking, people stream to like -7 and stuff. Like if you were to listen to, here's actually a great example. Okay, so this is my reference track of what I'm working on today. I'm just gonna play a few seconds of it, and then I want you to listen to this. Hold on, when did this release? Okay, so this was 2 years ago. That's important. But listen to this track. Okay, now listen to my bounce track.
Come on.
Which one was louder? And this is Robu, by the way. Like I can't compete with Robu. However, the fact that this releases on iTunes is way more quiet. Did you just say that the second one is louder? No fucking way. There's no way. No, this is significantly more quiet than, oh yeah, second one, sorry. Yeah. The second one is, my bad. The second one is way louder because this was released on Apple, on iTunes. But if we were to listen to the raw wave, I bet this would be loud as fuck. No, I'm sorry. I fucked up. Yeah. That's my bad. I am so sorry. I fucked up. Yes, this one is louder for sure. The second one. But it's not because like I know how to mix louder than him. It's because they released this on this platform, and this is a great like example of what you're working with whenever you're trying to like competitively mix. Like at the same time, if you listen to something from Chi, like this is one of my favorite tracks. This shit's loud as fuck. And the reason why is because he released it on Bandcamp. And this is actually louder than this. So listen. Shout out to Chi, by the way. Fucking crazy, dude. It's I would also say that his mixes are a lot cleaner though. He's much better at mixing than I am. Everything just has this like glue that feels sticky in this track, and that's something that I never really figured out. So I'm also not really the person to talk about with mixing. Hey Chase, what's up? At the same time, there are some principles or some foundationals that you can apply to at least get a rough, loud, ballpark, if that makes sense. Cool. Good on that? Yeah? Maybe? Hey, in Bitwig, do I save bounce files as wave? Not some Bitwig format? Well, if it's a clip, it's going to save as a Bitwig preset. If it's not a clip, then... Okay, so I actually wanted to do this. Also, the drum. What are the drums hitting at? There we go. I actually don't know who that is, but I'll look them up. I would like to bounce sounds and send them to Faceplant Sampler, but it seems like I can't do it. Because you have to do it from the inspector. So, like... You do this. If you try to do it from the timeline, it's not going to work, see? What you have to do is go into the inspector here and go into files. And then that will work. Doesn't matter if you bounce it or what. Like if you take this and you go Command B, right? Yeah. Back to Faceplant. You'll see that there will be this bounce here somewhere. Files. Hey, morph. Yeah. Then it works. Might be actually something I could do with this. If you right click on the event in the timeline, does it have an option like select file and should? Or are you asking me or are you asking them? Oh, yeah. Show and finder. But not on here, I don't think. It has to be... Yeah, it has to be through this. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. So now we're going to do a clap, another clap. No. Seems like I should render as wave. Is there? It should just do it. Leveling is like 90% of work. Compression, reverb, saturation stuff help you balance this key. Editor, you could do it with the audio file as a pop-up editor. Yeah, maybe if you're doing it in the editor, but not on the timeline. Yeah, show and finder. There we go. Seems like I should render. Wait. Oh, sorry. I looked away from chat for a second, and sometimes when I look back, it's the same thing. We're gonna do another filter here because I wanted to. There we go. Billwig's 8-track version to make a full song. Yeah. What I would do is probably just use a drum rack and then work within, like, instead, you see how everything's in audio pretty much, other than a couple of things. There's like 2 things in MIDI on here. I would also make more simple music, you know. There we go. Okay. I like that. But I think where a lot of people get messed up on is, you know, like, oh, can I make professional music? Can I do whatever? Like, I really want to take time to just do this. And also, like, koala sampler and all that. From the Thailand phase plan, if you just open the audio event in the detail editor and drag it from there. Don't you think it would be more efficient to just do it from the browser, though? Because instead of going find what you want, double click, go to the track, right? Because if you go to a different track, then you see like you lose the audio placement and whatever. Personally, I think it's better to just be like, what is the name of this? Okay. BB, what the fuck ever. Or you could just go bounce in place, just that one. And so now you've got a new bounce of whatever that is, right? And then just pull up faceplant and just drag that in. To me, that's the easiest way to do that. I think personally, just my own personal thing. I try to avoid the detail editor as much as possible. It doesn't do it for me. Oh wow. That doesn't sound that loud, but I guess it is. So let's do like a gated reverb. Sounds pretty good. Oh, frequency was what I was missing. So with mixing, yeah, it's frequency, dynamics, placement, and space. My bad. I don't know how I forgot that, but that's mixing 101. That is mixing when when. Where's it supposed to be? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Agreed. Not trying to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. Just different strokes for diff. I hate when people say that. That's really what it's about. Agreed. It's really about what you want. I would like to bounce everything I can, like all drums to one track, and try to keep everything simple as possible. Honestly, I would wait for Black Friday and just buy a producer edition. And that's not, yeah, that's a consideration as well, as you could just stem, you know, or have separate projects to where like you're just going to work on the drums in one project, then you're going to work on building some bass loops or music loops or whatever in the other. Get everything to stems and then just stack them to where you're working on like really simple tracks. It's a little bit more legwork and it's definitely an inconvenience, but it's possible. Okay, I really like this. I think that the tail of it is just a little bit too long, so we're gonna grab a transient shaper and just try to reduce. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, really? That's actually a pretty good deal. I didn't know that. That kick. Okay. All right. So this is where so that's like, this is a great example of like mixing shit and how to balance it, right? So what I did was I clipped the fuck out of it, but without this EQ, it started to blow out the kick, right? So but the reason why it's doing that is because the low mids are hitting the clipper too hard. So by just doing a little bit of EQ to the low mids and the lows here, now listen to the drum loop. And they're still loud, so. I really like when it has that like, and I want to see if I can find something that's like, where is it? Yeah, right here. I want to see if I can find like an okay or something like that. Okay.
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 Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's sorry. That's okay. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
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 DJ effects are really easy. You just need a delay. Okay, I just heard something really cool. And I'm just going to remake it. I wanted to do the kick drum DJ thing transition, but never quite got it. Kick drum DJ? What is that? Yeah, and forgive me, try your best with words. Because I don't know. A kicks, do you mean like like that? Okay, yeah. So what you want to do if you want to create DJ scratches is just get a delay. Which you're going to have to do just a little bit of legwork, but you need a delay that has repitch on it. So like a tape delay. But listen to this. Did you hear it? Just pull that out. And turn off the delay. It's in here somewhere. There it is. And Jesus Christ, ow, my fucking ears. And so what you do is once you have something like this, then you just need to time it out to the track. So I'm stretching it now. Let me see if I can change the grid lines on this. I need them to be a little bit brighter. There we go. That's helpful. And what I would do is something like this, where there's a little bit of silence. You can change the pitch if you want to. It doesn't really matter. You can also do this, where you just go repitch. And then you can just get a kick. So... Am I crazy for thinking boneless hip-hop beats are boring? I don't know what that means. What is boneless hip-hop beats? Top thing, it appears when slowing down for other tracks that I have. The kick does not start the same time as the effects. Alchemist beats without drums? Oh, maybe, yeah. I've never heard of that before. But is it a beat then? Is it not just like music, or like what do you have in replacements for rhythm? Wait, what are you talking about, Bear? The kick does not start same time as the effects? Drumless hip hop is big? Oh, so it's kind of like a Kanye West type shit, you know, where yeah, it's just samples. I think that's kind of boring. I'd have to hear the context though, and also like I'd also have to hear if there's a rapper over it or something. But yeah, so this is how you do a DJ scratch. You know, just something like that. No, man, I'm so like personally, like drums are everything to me. Um, the only reason why I'm still working on this track is because no, you're fine. Dude went off on you because you call those types of beats boring. You got to be careful when you say that. You know what I mean? Because like if you came in here and you were like, "Yo, uh, I think that bounce tracks are fucking boring," I'd be like, "Well, why are you here?" You know what I mean? But in the right room and in the right place, you can have a discussion about it. But I think it's you just kind of want to be considerate of like who it is that you're telling. You know, if you're in a room full of people that love that shit, like what kind of reaction are you going to expect? If you wanted to have a discussion about it, you probably might want to be like, hey, what do you all find appealing about these beats? Because then you might actually be in a position to where you can learn something. Because like for me, I agree with you. I don't see the like I don't really see the appeal of just sampling something and making a loop out of it. That doesn't feel like it's doing enough to me. Then again, that brings up a different conversation about like slowed and reverb, right? I think that chopped and screwed actually has a lot more had a lot more like juice to it, so to speak, than slowed and reverb. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's oh, I'm not gonna go any further for that, Blair. Like the if that wasn't it, there's your clue. But you should be able to figure out the rest from there with a DJ scratch. Like if you're really specific on like oh, it doesn't sound right, whatever, then just go sample a DJ scratch. Alchemist smokes too much. You can make drumless track or two, but the whole album can be boring. I get it. Bounce tracks are more interesting to me. Yeah, for sure. Um, well, I mean, that's just the context of what I'm working on right now. You know what I mean? But if it was dubstep, if it was fucking drum and bass or halftime or whatever it is that I do on a random day, you know, I actually kicked somebody out the other day because they said something very similar, but I think it was much more vulgar. They were like, you know, this shit sucks. Like, it's boring. Like, why are you making this? And I was like, well, why the fuck are you here? Like, leave. If you don't like my music and you don't like me, there's no reason to be here, you know? Unless if you want to offer me money, then I'll take it. But other than that, it's like, nah, dude. Um, I'm gonna pull off this camera for now, just because it's not really doing anything. And look how pretty that looks now. I got a full track of interesting stuff. Wasn't trying to be a hater, but kind of was. Well, I don't know. Like I wasn't there in the context, but I guess I'm just it, trying to describe like maybe how I would take it if someone said that to me, you know? But also like what is the outcome that you want? And that's something that I learned with communication with my partner is like emotions are a thing and you know, instincts are a thing with like how you want to respond and talk to people. And forgive me, this isn't unsolicited advice. This is something that I learned that I want to share. But something that she taught me was when you're communicating with somebody, it's like, what is the outcome that you want? You know, and that really changed how I talk to people. Because if I want to just be like, fuck you, you're an asshole, you know, you piece of shit, that's not going to make me feel better. And the outcome that I want isn't moving towards that goal. It's more of like, I really want this person to change and I want them to know that they upset me. So the way my communication skills are going to be projected in a much different manner to try to work towards that. And if all that fails and, you know, someone's being threatening or something, then yeah, everything's out the window. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that really changed my perspective on having conversations with others. Also with like being defensive as well when someone's calling me out on shit. But he was playing back other viewers' tracks, you're right. You all ever use contact mics? I actually reached out to a contact mic company that has it's a pedal. I can't remember what it's called, but Andrew Huang advertised it on like best plug or best hardware for 2024. And I reached out to that company and they said that they would be down to send me one. They just don't have any in production at the moment. So I definitely want to try it. But no, I don't. You can also get a really cheap one, I think, on Amazon or something for like nothing. I would highly recommend checking that out though. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're good here. I would just, I don't know. I guess I can only describe what I would have done if I was looking to say something like that. I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no problem walking into like a country feedback stream, God forbid, and I would be like, fuck country. This shit sucks. Why do you guys, you know what I mean? Because the outcome would be to just express my hatred for how much I hate country. That being said, I don't go looking for country streams just because I don't want to put myself in that position, you know? So those are my 2 cents on that. I'm kind of curious what this would sound like if this was the other way around. No. Yeah, okay, so this is most likely going to come out because it's just not that interesting to me. But it's something. They're cheap to make, but need preamped way up, obviously. I mean, your phone couldn't do it. I love hip hop, but yeah, I felt weird coming off like a hater. Could be worse. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's kind of the thing with the internet too, is like, it's the internet, you know? Usually it's really easy to try again on another day. There's going to be different people and all that other stuff and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that this is the weakest element of the track. But it's there. It does something, but maybe I'll keep fucking with it and see if I can get this to be a little bit more interesting. I would like to say that this stream is pretty chill.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this wants to not be there. This wants to be...
Okay. Okay.
I think it like wants to be smashed like right there.
Okay.
Like, maybe I can even try this.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Doing like a cool little bin right here would probably be pretty cool. Rolling Sampler is insanely goated. I've been using it for a while now. Yeah, that's... People, I have to say, like, a lot of people give me credit for showing Rolling Sampler, but I have to give Data Broth the credit because he's the one that told me about it. Then I made a video and now everybody's like, yo, Alckemy, yeah. And I'm like, yo, I wasn't the one who found that. Oh right, Rolling Sound or the SP404 does something like that.
Okay. 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 Okay.
I think that if you can make psytrance, or if you can mix psytrance, you can mix anything. It's one of those like genres that I'm like, if you can make drum and bass, you can make anything. If you can make trance, you can make anything. There's a couple of other genres that I put on that category as well. I don't have an NPC anymore, to be honest with you. But it's not about workflow holding me back. It's about doing something different outside of the DAW. Because I look at this fucking screen every goddamn day. Like every fucking day I look at this shit. So when I have a chance to work with hardware or, you know, something like the Digitact or whatever, it's not really me trying to make music as good as I can. It's me trying to make music in a different environment. I have a video coming out at some point about like why I bought hardware, but I think it's pretty silly to think that like an MPC is going to replace Bitwig. There's no fucking way I'm going to make anything nearly as good as this or any of the other shit that I've made on an MPC. But what it can do for you is it can be a sketch tool, right? And the depth of the sketch could be pretty dense. And if you look at it in that light and you try to work through the problem solving that you have, of like, oh, I can't do that with an NPC, so what can I do instead? Or is there a workaround? Whatever. Like it pulls you closer into having a better relationship with music, because that's what music is at a certain point. Is like, I want to write track. How do I write track? You know what I mean? And like you start going through these things of like, well, what are your priorities? I want to convey an emotion. I want to create a rhythm. I want to create a dance. I want to create, you know, sometimes a little bit more mechanical or rudimentary of like, I want a specific genre. I want to make a track like the style of this person, which I wouldn't recommend. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, and that's honestly the big point of the video, Stern, is, but what I do talk about is having the right relationship with hardware. That's the big thing, because a lot of people were like, oh, yo, you should buy hardware and whatever. And some people were like, no, you should never buy hardware. And I'm like, it's about having the right mindset of how to look at the instrument. You know, if you're a classically trained piano and you pick up a guitar and try to play it like a piano, like you're gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like you really need to respect the instrument for what it's meant to do, for its strength and weaknesses. And once you understand the structure of how that stuff works, then you can break it and be like, all right, well, now I'm going to use it for a different context than what it was intended for, with a bigger picture in mind. That's how you get the most out of it, in my opinion. Um, yeah. Cool. So we got 16 bars on this. I'm going to save this. We're going to call this... Wait, what? Oh, okay. Bounce to reference back, because that's the track that I'm referencing. Yeah, I need to get better at like this kind of sound design. Just like those cool little plucky things. Like I can make it, but it just never sounds right to me. Thankfully, like, this track is, I'd say, like 30% done even without it because it has the beat and the structure. It still needs something on top, though. Yeah, exactly. Need to find a crash. And we'll put that over this and do the same thing. And I think that I'm going to put this on like the one of this. We'll do a ring mod. Sorry, my progress of this when I started getting into discussions and all that has been reduced significantly, but I don't mind because I like talking about these things. And I go live because I like to hang out with you all. Okay, where's that hat? Oh, duh. What is this? Oh. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I love hip hop so much, is because like it's everywhere. I like I think somebody asked me that. I think that's the thing that I was actually discussing. They were like, "Don't you get bored of making halftime all the time?" And I'm like, would you ask that to the Beatles, you know? Would you be like, hey, what was his name? John Lennon. Did you ever get tired of writing the music that you make? Like, what kind of fucking question is that? Hey, X person, do you ever get tired of asking stupid questions? No, I'm just kidding. There really isn't such thing as a stupid question, but it was a little bit like, what? Also, I have a tendency, my natural reaction is when somebody says something slick to me, I have a natural uh, response to want to have a clap back. So forgive me. Professional shit talker here. Well, I mean, everyone's an expert, you know? That's the thing. Everyone's an expert. Everyone wants to be a cook in your kitchen. All right. I think I might need to replace this sound, unfortunately. Maybe I can save it. We'll see. I think I can save it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Thanks. I mean, this channel is primarily like halftime. I do lots of like neuro shit. That's really like what my reputation is founded on. That being said, why isn't that making any noise? Oh, that's because that's in a kick. Duh. Damn, bro, you just fucking tripping. There was this other thing here. No, that's the shaker. Being unique and having your own style for some people who just grows on TikTok can be strange. Dude, just do genre of music what you like. Well, I was actually just watching a video on DJ Payne, and he was talking about selling beats and stuff. And it was really interesting to watch, just to look at their approach of how they're doing things. And they were like, you really should just stick to one genre as a business. And if you're going to make other music, like change the alias. Yeah, like those are the kinds of sounds that I'm known for. And I want to put one in here somewhere. I think it was, I had a pitch bend somewhere in this region. Where did I put that? Do.
Okay.
Okay. Probably right there. Please. Thank you. Just make that a quarter beat. Okay, we need like a way to introduce that. So I think that having a flutter right here, that's just what I call it. Oops. Also, people, don't be like me. I like never label my tracks. Yeah, but I like this little moment because there's a little phrase that works well, and this is like the funnest part of music to me, is when you create these moments of interaction that, for lack of better description, enhance the dance. Well, that does exist. Like there's a virtual reality thing for Google. I don't remember what it's called, but it came out several years ago. But no, it's not as good as Faceplant. But I think it would be sick to have like a thinking like a virtual, like a VCV rack, but interactive. True. 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 Yeah, from a beat standpoint, I think that everything could be appreciated, even if it is quote unquote boring, you know? But at the same time, I do agree with the lyrics, and like the culture has shifted in a direction that I no longer identify with. I think that's the best way that I could say that. But the history and the richness behind it isn't something that I that is always going to be a part of me. I mean, if you grow up on, you know, fuck bitches, get money, you know, all that shit, like that I got tired of. Because that was an era that was a thing, but I feel like I kind of outgrew it. I think it would also be kind of cool to have like a mid-side shaker right here. It just needs to be a little bit tighter. Cheese, are you a pirate? You're sick, bro. In what context? Yeah. No, I'm on Mac. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little different here. That's kind of cool. Why is it so quiet, though? That's kind of sick. Yeah, I do agree with that. And I mean, think about it. Like that shit is marketed towards kids. If you think like not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but it's meant to be on kids and people who are impressionable, because they want you to look into, idolizing expensive shit. Um, I think that like the whole thing about like gang violence and all that other stuff and getting into drugs, like that would probably be where I cut the line off, because even though they talk about it, there's no statistically there's no evidence that supports that in particular. But I do think that it is advertising in a sense, you know, and in some cases, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I started losing respect when there was this like newer generation of young rappers that came out that were like, I'm so fucking hard and I kill people and I sell drugs, but I grew up in a stable home with a good childhood. And, I'm talking about my struggles, but my daddy gifted me a fucking, benzo when I was 16. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. Like you have no platform to stand on. In the early to mid 2000s, it made sense because like that was a symbol of you know of a culture that represented a minority that dealt with an insane history of hardship and inequality, and then they're like, I fucking made it, you know? And that is something that you can still respect, because at that time it represented like things that actually had value, people grew up being fucking rags to riches and shit. And while I said I outgrew it, I definitely see the value of it, because back then when people were rapping about hip hop and shit, it wasn't really like I'm so fucking rich. It was like I'm doing what I have to do to get by. And then that culture that spawned, and I want to say like it's late 90s to late 2000s maybe, was an era of that community or that culture making it, but then it was exploited because a lot of people were like, yo, you can start promoting our brand. Yo, we want you to rap about this. We want you to talk about our Nikes. We want you to talk about, wearing a new pair of J's every day. Like, that's something to fucking live for. You know what I mean? And like, who am I to tell people how to live? But it's almost like when you look at it in retrospect, it's so fucking obvious that it's hard not to say something about it. You know what I mean? And so you kind of get into this point with like when you start hearing it everywhere, you're just like, fuck, I'm not really trying to hear this shit anymore. I don't know what an aura rapper is. I can't speak on that because I've never heard of that term before, to be honest. I'm sure there are studies showing the influence of music on people. For example, in my country, there's no problem with crime and minorities, and I'm pretty sure because our music is different. Oh, like 50 Cent. Um, well, I just think that like music has evolved in such a way and like changed, you know what I mean? But like also the way that music is played and advertised is very different. Now everything is so accessible that you don't have to be at the mercy of a label to get heard. And also the sense of exclusivity has been reduced significantly because everybody's putting their shit on every fucking streaming platform possible. And that's one of the issues, not with the culture, but with the industry. You know what I mean? Because now there's no exclusivity. There's nothing that like, you got to remember, like back in the day when the radio came out, there was no way for you to hear whatever song was in your head unless if you heard it on the radio. So what would people do? They would listen to the radio and hope that they'd hear their song. Then they have the song requests and they have all this shit, whatever, right?
Now everything is at your fingertips, and your song is going to be a hit for a week. People are going to listen to that shit on repeat, and then they're going to be fucking done. And so, and the other thing that I would say too is that most people that are the big rapper superstars or whatever, they tend to fall out of it because they diversify. 50 Cent is a great example. Rihanna is a great example. You know, she started, I think it was like a lingerie and perfume line or whatever, right? And like she's a billionaire now. And good for her. But you get what I'm saying? It's like she doesn't really give a fuck about making music anymore, I imagine, which I don't really know. I can't speak for her, but she hasn't, I don't really think she's come out with anything lately. I'm not in touch, by the way. So if she came out with an album yesterday or whatever, like forgive me, I don't hear about her making music. But yeah, it's just the way that people receive media these days are a lot different. And I think that it's a good thing in a lot of cases. It makes things a little bit harder in some cases. Like, I don't know, for me, like I don't put my music on every single platform. Actually, I don't play that at all. I do have a SoundCloud, but that SoundCloud is only for sending demos to labels. And anything that I actually release is either on this channel or on my website. And it's not because I'm trying to be like low key or whatever. It's because I want to have ownership of everything. I don't want somebody to pay pennies or fractions of a pennies per 1,000 streams in order for me to try to make $1. It's like, that's just not, like, that's bad business. And it's hard because artists are struggling, you know. They put their heart and soul into a lot of this stuff. Well, a lot of them do anyways. Some people just try to go on Suno and make AI beats and try to sell it and make money, and it's like, yeah, good luck. But you know what I'm saying? It's we're just in a different place with music. It's always going to be here. It's always going to be something that people appreciate, but like we're in kind of a shitstorm with figuring out where the fuck we are. Programming some groups of people with music, like if you black, you have think this. No. I think that there are certain things that represent the culture, but just like gaming, there is no clinical evidence that relates to any sort of crime or violence in music. I would know this because my partner is a therapist, a psychological therapist, and we talk about shit like this a lot. But there is literally no studies that lead to bad music and, like, you know, let's say violent video games and crime. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there is 0 degree of influence, but I don't think that it's so strong that, you know, a kid is going to listen to. I think it's a bad message, and you know what I mean? I don't agree with it, and I wish that rappers would change, but yeah, I think it can influence a headspace, but I don't think that it's going to influence a decision. Well, I don't see like how they could be treated any different because video games are more immersive, you know? Because you have music. Like, how many, like, nobody, maybe one person said, I played GTA San Andreas that has all of that, right? Which is the music and the game experience or whatever, and was like, I wanted to be a gangster because I love Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like, hip hop was my biggest influence for music, and I'm not sitting here trying to be gangster and shit. I'm just like, yeah, it was a thing. And while I don't represent a minority, I was still very much part of the culture because I was in like the same neighborhood as them. You know, I grew up in the fucking hood. And as a kid, I will say that while I wasn't out to, you know, do crimes and stuff, like there was definitely a time to where like my clothing and like the things that I valued, the stuff that I wanted to buy and all of that, yeah, that was a thing that I eventually outgrew as well. My brother, not so much. but there still needs to be a space for it, you know, because not everybody is a studio gangster. There are some people that talk hard lyrics and stuff, and they're talking from experience, and I hope that audiences are able to distinguish the two and what they mean. But generally speaking, you know, I think that the main thing is to just educate people on how to not be impressionable. Well, I mean, the problem with that, Cheese, is that nobody, like, that doesn't excite anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not interesting. I would say that video games are just as much part of a culture as music. Like, and if you don't agree with me, go look at Kingdom Heart culture. Go look at anime culture. Like, I can't help but disagree with you on that. With all due respect, of course. If you think uwu community is not a thing, like, we need to have a separate conversation. And where does that come from? It comes from games. It comes from anime. It comes from, like, it comes from media. Like, I guarantee if anybody is a similar age to me and you've played through Kingdom Hearts, if you hear Sanctuary, Dearly Beloved, or Simple and Clean, like, you're probably going to have a fucking breakdown wherever you are. You know what I mean? Because it was such a staple. It's part of the culture. Having different pins is nothing you should worry about. I'm not worried. But it's more of like, I think it's more of a lack of understanding how you could, like, you can't represent music as a culture and then dismiss video games. It just doesn't, that doesn't work. That's like, there's a flaw in the logic there. It's I don't think that there's, it's like math, you know, like what you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Essentially right now, like, and that's the other thing too, is the way that music is made now is also a video game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm playing a video game right now. I can't die, obviously. I can hurt my ears. There's real life consequences, and yours too. But you get what I'm saying? Like, this is a game. This is something that is like an interactive thing that is very open for canvas making and all that. But what do? We start from, you know, nothing, and beating the level is coming up with, you know, with this stuff. And the winning is the satisfaction of, like, making a thing that sounds cool. You know what I mean? It's not like back in the day where, like, everybody played instruments. Oh yeah, my brother, he's fucking, he will be that for forever. Which is interesting because he's the one that got me into hip hop music. But I was always the kind of person that was more into, like, MF Doom. I really like Clear Soul Forces. I like Strange Fruit Project. I like that kind of shit. And my brother was like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent when he first came out. Old Dirty Bastard was his first ever cassette album. Maybe because video games and music itself influence different on us. But I guess what I'm saying is that video games incorporate music and visuals and interactive experiences. And so if like the depth and the level of those experiences are amplified by appealing to all of those different dimensions, if you just pull out music and look at it as that, like, it's hard to see that that would be more impactful than something that is like, here's visuals, here's violence, here's, you know, like I said, San Andreas is the best example of that, because that is literally a game about, you know, making it big in the hood. Which, I'm not really a GTA person, but San Andreas was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That was a really, I think that part of the reason why I liked that game so much is because I related to so much shit that happened in it, you know? For better or for worse. Not saying I did those things as a kid, but but there was definitely quite a few scenarios that are relatable. But yeah, I mean, even still with all that, you're free to disagree. I don't see how it could be any different. They speak different and have different opinions because of music they listen to. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that that impact still exists within everything else, every other kind of media. You get what I mean? Like, that's why I brought up the anime point. That's why I brought up the video game point. Like, that's why if you identify with a brand that you like, you're probably going to wear a shirt. You know, if I like Sonic the Hedgehog and I'm a young person, I'm probably going to be like, yo, oh, fuck, that's a Sonic the Hedgehog shirt. I'm going to wear that, you know, or comic books or whatever. It's not like, I don't think that it's different. I think that it's more about just what you relate to. Yeah, Def Jam. I mean, shit, even fucking like, even stuff that wasn't necessarily violent, like NBA Street, right? I get what you're saying, and I'm saying that I disagree, but we can stop there. Especially being in the USA, like in the US, like you say, like I've seen it all. You know what I mean? I've seen it and I've seen people be exposed to all of these things. And I will claim that because I don't know what country you're from, but like hip hop grew up, or like hip hop was born in the US. And then like it went to the UK very early. But for the most part, like hip hop is rooted here. And being in the midst of that and growing up in all of that and looking at like being a part of that culture and the history of it, because I grew up in LA, I'm very like rooted in my perspective because I've seen how it affects people. I've seen all these facets. Yeah, the street influence doesn't turn into that. Toy Machine Volume 3 Straight Hood. Like what does influence or like what doesn't help is if you are already in the hood, you have no resources, no family, you know, no access to basic care from the government or whatever, food stamps, what the fuck. You live in an unsafe environment. You can't sit at home and do your homework because you're worried that somebody is going to fucking rob you. You can't have nice things because you're afraid that someone is going to take it away from you. You know what I mean? It's like that changes. And then when you listen into the music, like that's where where it becomes impressionable. And that's the issue that I have with today's hip hop is that people, like these kids are still talking about this stuff, but they didn't grow up with this. They didn't have that. Thankfully, I'm glad. Nobody should fucking have to deal with that stuff. But it's like, it's weird because it feels like a culture vulture to me. And in some cases, I guess, like, I can't really speak on that either because even though I grew up in that, I still don't represent that minority group. And it's not so technical about, like, who was what and this and that, but I think just more of a means of paying respect to the history of, you know, and who the culture belongs to. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, in any case, I don't know. I think that I'm really disappointed with how a lot of music or where a lot of music has gone. I'm actually really excited for, in some other cases, where music is going. And I think that there's been this actualization of people understanding that like the best shit comes from the underground. That's not really even a thing anymore, but it comes from like fishing SoundCloud for some gold. You know what I mean? Like some random fucking shit of some 15-year-old kid that's making hot fire beats. Like y'all know Monkey Rascal, young kid, dude. He's fucking sick, and I'm so glad that I had the chance to have him on the channel because his beats fucking slap. And guess how I found him? I found him through Chi. Chi mentioned him, and I looked up his music, and I was like, holy shit, I get why Chi likes him. And I reached out, and I was like, yo, can we chat? And I'm not sure, but I think that having him on the channel sparked them getting in contact with each other. I don't know for sure. I would love to claim that because I love helping people make connections. I don't know if they were already chatting, but yeah, like I think that they've got some stuff together now. I know that they met because I saw some stuff on their Instagram. And yeah, like even she is somebody that is like producer famous, quote unquote, but he's not headlining. You know what I mean? Like it's sorry, he is headlining, but he's not yes, exactly. Right. Um yeah, sorry, not trying to speak on someone else's career success, but I guess like he hasn't gotten his flowers and he deserves it. That's the point that I was trying to make. Or Cage, right? Cage from South Africa. Actually, fucking everyone in South Africa is cracked. If you don't listen to people from South Africa, especially in the hip hop world, those guys are fucking insane. Well, I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is like the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and killing is killing, you know? That doesn't take away from your experience, but I think that it's more about just having a relation to the culture that I'm speaking about, right? So you're bringing up a different point. It doesn't discount anything that you've been through. It's saying like I'm telling you where I'm coming from because I was there. Because people here live like $100 monthly salary and it has so much safer than the USA. I mean, are you still under communist slavery? Did you know that there's like essentially almost next to zero reported crime in Dubai? Maybe not zero, but it's like the lowest in the world. Do you know why? Because if you do so much as flip somebody off, like they'll fucking kill you. And it changes things when you're in an environment like that. You get what I'm saying? Like it's yeah, I want to see if I can make something a little cooler than that. We still need to be in the key of D, but I think that I can find something more fun. Forgot I recorded that. Right, exactly. That's why I said reported crime, by the way. Might even be able to take that. That's kind of cool. Let me see if I can tune this. Hmm. Let's try something like that and see what that does. My thoughts on Splice, it just depends on who you are. You know, I personally don't fuck with it, but yeah, I think this is actually cooler. Maybe you have right, guys. However, I still think that music have bigger impact on people than video games. I mean, in general, on specific people, video games have biggest influence, obviously. I mean, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't have the data, and neither do you, so it doesn't matter. I like it for drums, but I come from the age of saving kits. I personally don't fuck with Splice. There's been a lot of issues with it, especially with copyright and all that. Also, Splice is pretty much dominated by pretty much one dude. I think his name is Oscar. Like, most of the shit is his. Which is crazy. All right, where's the jump? I kind of want to throw that in there somewhere. I mean, even now, like my music is influenced by video games, which is pretty funny to think about. Dude, where is this jump? That's kind of cool. There it is. Yeah. Hey, Z, what's up, bro? Okay, I want to do like a glitch thing right here. The bleep boop bleep boop? Yeah. No, it's not an atonal sound. It's just a tiny piece of a melody that I took out. This thing, right? That. Yeah, this is a melody. So I just pulled that. This was the first idea that I had, but I think that this one is better. Like they both work, but I think that this one is a stronger one. Yeah, to me, this one just seems like a better... Someone else said that today, thank you.
Maybe here. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a video coming out about this pretty soon. Just how to do this. But did you hear the last track that I made? That was also a bounce track? Okay, let me play this for you. I could use a break.
Come on. I think it was last week's stream. I am gonna send this one to Tom Poo. I need to fix the intro, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, there's also a tabla in there, so that it was definitely kind of like an Egyptian thing. But no, man, I don't have the time for videos. Like, I wear way too many fucking hats as it speaks just to try to get by. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But the main thing with like getting this to work together, obviously, are the 808s, but it's about the two of when the two happens, when the snare happens, and what happens right before the snare. Because this little phrase right here is what makes the entire thing come together, in my opinion. Like, if you can get this, then all of the other decisions around making like fucked up rhythms and stuff come into play. But let me mute this and solo the drums as well, but it's just this. That's the bounce. And so on the last two tracks that I've written, this snare is super early. And then this one is on time, relatively on time. So what you end up getting is you get this like early on time, or sometimes even early late, but you see how that's what gives the bounce what it is. Well, I make videos. I've got about 1,000 of them. But as far as music videos go, like I don't have a budget for it, or nor do I have the time, nor do I have the resources. And so like after I did this, then I just threw hats anywhere. And then that's what helps it kind of reinforce.
And then there's just this other stuff that's support, but I still think that it's way less like impactful. But these other little things will help it all gel together, you know? So let me just actually mute the side chisel and then unmute this. And so now we have, yeah, thanks for coming in.
Okay.
But the other thing too is like making a big emphasis on having negative space, like this kind of shit.
Okay.
Space right here. Right? All of that space. At least not being occupied by drums, you know? Like there might be something over it, but there's something there. But to me, this was the hardest part to figure out, was how to find this groove. And there's still other beats that I'm trying to figure out that that she and, you know, Cage and stuff have made. But as far as like the quote unquote bounce shit, this works really well for me. And if you can just get this, which is the shuffle, it's the same thing with drum and bass, right? Because everybody can do boom ka to boom ka to boom ka. But when you have the shuffle, that little like that shuffle is what creates the groove for the most part of drum and bass. But it's funny because that same thing applies to like breakbeat. You know, it applies to like any genre that has like a cool little, that has like a cool groove. Even in trance, right? It's right? Like it's the shuffle. That's what creates it. And so if you start from just that, if you start from the snare placement and then you build some sounds around it that relate to it, to me that's how you make a track like this. Yeah, I might not be going to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a bit. I got my MRI and I have a cartilage tear. And so I might be home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you go live, I might be able to catch you. I don't know. We'll see. I'm waiting for what the doctor says that I can do and what I can't do. But I have a suspicion that they're going to be like, stop flipping, which I'm like, fuck. Okay. But yeah, that shit sucks. Yay, cartilage tear. Thankfully, it's not like an ACL or an MCL tear or anything like that, but it still blows ass. I mean, yeah, but I can't say I'm surprised, you know? I kind of want this to just like... What does it kind of pick up? Also, these hats seem loud as fuck. Sure. Do you just want to see the 808? Because it's a very simple patch. Upper harmonics and pitch bend stuff. There is some pitch bend stuff on here, but like maybe 1 or 2 instances. So I think it's just like this one. Yeah. So that's just going one. Nope, it's not. There is some on here though that I know that are doing it.
Yeah, there it is. So just like a whum whum whum. Now in this track in particular, I don't actually have any upper harmonics. It's just the sub, which is a sine wave, a third harmonic, and literally like this. But what brings it back is having distortion on top of it. And this is something that I don't see a lot of people do, but opening the filter along with the resonance just a little bit, that's what gives it that for me. If you wanted to have some of the upper harmonics, then what I would suggest is just a ring mod, low pass, frequency up, just a touch of this. Which to me, I want the low roll, so I don't have any of that. But one other thing that you can do is try like snap heap. I don't know if I've shown you this before, but if you do this, where you have a parallel chain, and you go into shaper table and you just like create some fuckery. Actually, take out the low end. So take out the lower harmonics and only have like mid to upper harmonics. Be careful with this, by the way. You go done. And you have, wait, what? Oh, okay, it's still there. You have a weird ass shape like this. Keep the DC filter on, but adjust the bias, and you just solo this. Then you can get stuff like that. And just pay attention to the waveform of what you're doing, right? Because now this is a little bit noisier. And so you just take out the low end and saturate it again. And then mix it with the original signal. And then run it through OTC, or go back and do like put ring mod on it. But yeah, that's a cool way that you can create some interesting top end for stuff. I mean, it's the same, like treat shaper table like an amp. Going to Area 15 tonight. Right on. I am waiting for Corey to get home because we are going to go to the store. We're going to go grocery shopping. Oh, you also need to come by soon. I need to show you some other stuff. Some other things. Wait. Yeah. I think what I want to do now is I'm just going to commit to this. And
Yeah, sounds good, dude. Then I'm gonna bring back this snare that I made, or this rim shot. Wherever the fuck this is. Let me see if I can make this seem a little bit more interesting with like a mid-side or something. It just, yeah, that's the hardest fucking thing about making music for me, is just coming up with a fucking hook about that melody, because it feels super atonal, but it has a key, it offers a weird ambiguous sound. Yeah, it's like it works, but it also doesn't. It feels like it's not enough. If you get the chance, listen to Back from Robu, because that's what this is referenced off of pretty closely. But they just, I can't fucking put my finger on it. But they just do it so well. Okay, now let's automate some reverb here. I always use ROM. ROM. Mix. Yeah. And then we can just do like a cool little riser. God damn it, Ian. Ian, fuck. I kept typing in facet plant. Jesus. Right. And maybe that's something that I want to try to or that's what I've been experimenting with that. I know, baby. I'll let you out soon. Okay. I just wanted to call you to tell you that I love you and I miss you and um I have. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll show you something that you could do. You might be able to do this on Ableton as well. I'm gonna mute this right here. Sounds like a bee riding a motorcycle. Okay, so something that you can do on this in order to make it a little different is you can go into pitch here, like this, into the histogram. Can I move this? And then you can go a tiny mouse bit of chaos like this that makes this just a little bit pitched off. So each one, as you can see, -7, minus 36, 27. And so that kind of gives it a little bit of like, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe we can do that a few times and see like what we can get. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Thomas the Engine. Yeah, you stay out of that trash, sweet girl. She wants me to take her out. I'll probably will take her out too. But yeah, you can you definitely can do like a frequency shifter as well and just have maybe let's say 30 hertz of a value here, and then you can actually play with the entire range. So it can be like 29 hertz, whatever. Hit 3, which is, wait, what is the shortcut for this? There is no shortcut. But yeah, you could just be like, okay, I don't actually know what that did. It was supposed to be this, but let's try that again. I know, right? Just, oh my gosh, I have such a funny story to tell you. Oh, no, no, no. Yes, you're, fuck, you're right. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, I'm about to, never mind. Thanks. You right. Just don't tell anybody. Yo, Mad, what's up? That actually sounds cool. Let's just listen to what that does for us. It's a bit broken now, but yeah, that's definitely one way that you could do it.
Yeah, I just love that rhythm, right? That just like, and then like when it has the cool little shaker, that kind of stuff is like some of my favorite things about music making. But yeah, I think that this is a good place to pause on. Actually, I'm going to finish up this riser and try to do something a little bit more interesting, but yeah, I should send it to him. Did you all ever meet in person yet? Sick. That makes me so happy. Yeah, he's really knowledgeable about that stuff. I don't even really even think about that, to be honest. I just like the beats, man. Like, I just, I want stuff that does wabble do wabble blah, and then, just the cool grooves and the rhythm and stuff. I really can't give enough credit to, to the people that you and I know, just because I think that without them, I have it in me, but I never would have gotten there because my mind was in way too many. Are you doing the fucking oh my god, is that Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Solo. Boing, boom, 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 boing, boom, boing. Willy, 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 wah. Yeah, I wrote that myself. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And in parentheses, to the break of dawn. Because I want to rock your body, baby. Yeah. Hold on, let me find it for context. Because everybody thinks I'm a fucking psycho now. Yeah, we are getting old. Hell yeah.
Solo. Willy 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 willy.
Oh, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.
That's beautiful. It's like poetry.
I want to rock your body, baby.
Easy, big.
Anyway. Imagine I get flagged for like inappropriate content on YouTube when that's on YouTube. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. But yeah, that's solo. Widdly, 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 wah. And you know what the saddest thing about that is like it's not even a good solo. It's like, dude, Aqua Teen Hunger Force got so many things right. All right, focus. Does anybody have any questions about what I did today? Or anything else that you would like me to open up? Yeah, that was a great show. I think they brought it back, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the pit. Meatwad, what are you doing in that bag, you silly wad of meat? Now you stay in that bag. I really like this right here. There's this little bounce moment right here where it's like, wow, boom. Wait. Boom. Maybe I should do like another one right here. I keep saying that I'm going to stop working on this, but I really enjoy this track, so. No, what happened? Hey, yo, what the fuck? I gotta make it bounce. Is this a D? No, it's a D. Shut up. The D sharp. There we go. The D sharp. Yeah. Oh, dude, I've got some. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, it needs to make sense though. I don't really know what it's called, but most people would know what I was talking about if I said like a bounce track. All right, I just need to find the voices now. Here we go. Oh, man.
That was fun. Hey! Ow! Ooh!
Yeah, this one. There's a little pocket right there that's actually... Yeah, nice. The... Or are you talking about the ice slip? I don't remember it, to be honest. Let me copy this. I'll take a listen to that after the stream. Bomber Yasuo. They have like the punching thing, like hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, guys, I think this is gonna be it for me. I need to take my dog out. She's been very patient and very sweet. I know. I know. You've been so good today. You've been so good, sweetie. I love you. You hear her breathing in the mic. What do you think about the state of the world today? Oh yeah? Can you speak? Speak. Speak. Speak, Jersey. Can you speak? Say bork. I've been trying to work on that with her forever. I know she can do it. She just doesn't. Can you speak? Speak, Jersey. No, but she knows how to mlim. No, that's my water. Yeah, but anyways, much love, guys. Thanks for coming to chill. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be back on Monday and we'll continue working on this. Or maybe I'll work on it tomorrow on Discord or something. If you can, like the video, check out alchemy.com if you want to support the channel. Please go subscribe to Zayaku, dear friend of mine. Awesome person, makes really awesome music as well. And if you want to chat about this stuff, we can do that anytime because, you know, I love to share. But yeah. All right, guys. Much love. I will see you on Monday. Or it's maybe tomorrow if you're part of the Discord. Bye, everybody.